What's up, everybody? It is Vashaun Jones, visionary of Fedora Outlier LLC, and I am back. We are back with another one. This one's going to be a very special one because we got four people on the line. I know. We like to over deliver here at Fedora. We promised you three, but we got four. We might even have a couple of dogs in between there. I don't know. We're going to find that out. But before we do, we're going to go ahead and play my intro music. I'm going to do my goofy dance, and then we're going to get the show started with ABA, not ADA, like, Americans for Disability Act, but ABA. And then we done added another A to it, so it's like triple AB. I don't know, but here go the intro music. Hold on. And here comes my goofy dance. Oh, another thing I gotta do is start it from the beginning, number one, because y'all didn't even get the saxophone part. So hold on. One more time, just the beginning. There we go. That's that beautiful sound. The alto saxophone, baby. My guess is all ready. They laughing. And you know when they laugh, when they hungry and they laughing, boy.
You ain't have to tell nobody be hungry.
I'm just saying, y'all sound hungry.
Word.
Sound like they need some Chinese food. Some Oriental.
That sounds good.
Oh, food. Word.
All right, we are back. So let's go ahead and get this thing started, man. So won't y'all ask me, how was my day today?
How was
your
your day? How was your day today, Mr. Vashaun?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. Hold on. All right, we got the right camera on me. So, do y'all see my face? Let me put on my hat. Hold on, I'm gonna grab my hat. 'Cause this is serious. I'm gonna grab. There you go. Y'all don't see, but the people see on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, Periscope, Twitch, all at the same time. You feel me? That's how we do it. So, let me tell you about my day. This day started literally a week ago. How did this start a week ago Thursday? I got this check, right? Pretty large check. That's what we do in addition to. And so I deposited the check. The check had a 2-day hold on it. So if I deposit on Thursday, and Thursday is a day that they count. Thursday, Friday, money in the bank Saturday, right? Nope.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the way to North Carolina on Friday to see y'all. I ain't know I was seeing y'all, not because I'm blind, because I just didn't know. I checked my account, it's negative, like in the tens of thousands. They done reversed the check, right? Reversed it. So I called the bank, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, they get it straight. I wake up in the morning, the account looking good again Saturday. Okay. So I get a check, take it to the bank Monday. They tell me my account looking bad again this Monday or this week.
Ooh.
So then they say we're working on it. We don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? So fast forward to the day. I wake up, my account still ain't looking good. So I'm calling around. Unbeknownst to me, the bank calling me, I'm calling them, we calling each other. I want to know what's happening. Come to find out, these people talking about my money ain't in my account because of a scan error, SCAN, OCR error.
Oh, no.
I'm like, what that got to do with me?
Wow.
It's been a week. I done waited my 2 days. So they said the check is coming back as if it was a bad check. Now, this is a government check from a government company. It ain't bouncing, so I don't know what they talking about. They still ain't got my money in my account. Right?
Ooh.
So that's how my day been. Now, meanwhile, I still got to smile and dial. I still got clients to see. I still got to pretend like everything is all good with me because I got to help somebody else get to the level that they want to get to. So I say all of
Right.
that to say, boy, when you dealing with people, common sense ain't always that common.
Too common.
I know that's right. So, how was you all's day?
Ooh,
Ugh.
My day was good. I got a
Oh,
little
one
sleepy
brother.
at the end. I got a little sleepy at the end, but I counted
Yeah.
all joy.
I've been
I ain't
messing
gonna
mattresses all day.
Well,
Man,
this is Anastasia, and I had a fantastic, freaking good day. You need to
wow.
call
Dang.
me Sunday, Vashaun.
Yeah, I'm just saying, how you just gonna announce your name? How you just gonna tell everybody your name? If I didn't say your name, you can't be saying your name and then be having a
We
fantastic,
gonna co-host.
good day. I know she
It's a
just gonna
force of
jump
habit.
in like she Wendy Williams.
We gonna co-host.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How you doing?
Shoot, we ain't got that much to talk about. We got to tease your name. Check the screens
We sorry.
for me, Christy. All right, cool. All right, so you guys want to know who these cheerful voices is? I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. So the A, the B, and the A, the whole group. Well, you already heard the first one, the leader, Anastasia. She's on the line. Anastasia, say what's up to the world again.
What's up, world?
With your
How are
fantastic,
y'all?
beautiful day. They ain't gonna respond back. They just gonna, do their internet
I
thing.
know. Yeah.
All right, so the B in the ABA is Miss Brooke. Brooke, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
You already know the answer to that. It's better than excellent. Despite
All right.
my bad bank account. Good thing I got another one because they would have my brother messed up. You feel me? And so we got another A. And I ain't even gonna say that. I'm gonna just say we got another A. And her name is Alyssa. Alyssa, how are you doing today?
That's not my name. It's Elisa.
Oh, excuse. First of all, screen reader said Alyssa.
Live fair.
I'm gonna need you to say it one more time for the world. Say it one more time. What you say?
My name is Elisa, and my day was okay. I enjoyed my day today.
Elisa. It's like having A and Elisa.
Yeah.
Okay, because I call you Alyssa. And what you gonna do about it?
Because everybody else called me that too, so you good.
Okay, but you want to get it straight for the record. All right. And so we got another A. He just gonna jump in like Puffy all in the videos, dancing and all that stuff. Ain't nobody even invite him on the show. He won't in none of the marketing or nothing. He just gonna be all up in it. Y'all put your hands together for Andre. That is your name, right?
Nah, it's DeAndre, bro. But everybody know me as Dre.
So we do got a ADABA. Okay, DeAndre. I done put you all in my phone all wrong. Man.
Lord have mercy.
So
Lord
you thought
have
the other
mercy.
A was. You ain't correct me like Elisa?
No,
mean,
no.
Oh, man.
Vashaun, I wrote these names down for you.
Because I wanted to see if he was gonna crack. I wanted to see if he was gonna crack something on it, man. Because I was ready for it. That's
Nah,
what.
I was just going to say your
That's
name,
what that
but I
was.
put it in, in my phone. Because, you said DeAndre. I thought you said, Andre. Short for Dre.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I'm going to just call you Dre because I ain't going to remember no Dion in the middle of this. I already got
Yeah.
Dion.
That's why everybody call me Dre. If you can't remember Dion, just call me Dre.
Got you. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I call him Little Dre.
All right, not Little Dre. I'm just calling him Dre. Little Delicious. Nah. All right, and so together they formed the group ABAD. Y'all put your hands together for four fantabulous people. So y'all know every one of these conversation broadcasts starts with a story. So I'm gonna give you the story real quick. I'm speaking in North Carolina. I believe, I still haven't confirmed. Now, Alyssa will tell me whether my presumptions are correct. Alyssa, you put me together with Mike to be able to speak at the event, correct? No? Did she go on mute?
I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. Well, for our November 9th event?
No, for the at the
Yes.
mayor council.
Yes, the mayor's council luncheon. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
see, a little slow. All right. So, Elisa put it together, and I said that I could do it, and we negotiated and came up with reasonable sums, and so I went there. I'm sitting at the head table, and these people come up to the table. They just like bum rush the table, and they was saying their name, and they was Bloods and Crips and gangbangers and stuff.
No, you did not.
They would throw up their signs and all that. And after they
Dude,
introduced
funny.
themselves, right, they said, would
He
you
was
like to
trying to
come
get
take
your attention.
Okay, I mean, you had it, because I was about to get my knife and my gun. Nah, I'm just playing. So anyway, they said, would you like to come back and take a tour of their facilities? And I'm like, sure, right? And so, they told us, well, we'll be waiting for you when you come out the parking lot. And when we came out the parking lot, they weren't waiting. I knew that's why they gave me the address. They were like, you get there on your own. Well, we ain't waiting.
That wasn't our fault.
Wait no more.
Our driver wasn't in a good mood.
Yeah, well, and then they had left me. I said, okay, I see what this is. So we get to the building. We come through the door. We got to wait like 30 more minutes for Anastasia to put on her makeup and come back out and check her paperwork. So they come out, and history was made, right? So the long and short of it is, I was able to visit the Industries for the Blind, and everything that I heard about the Industries for the Blind that was negative, I could see why. Because most of them have been fired or laid off. And I guess you ain't got nothing positive to say, when you've been fired or laid off.
Mm-hmm.
But the people in the building, man, it was just so much joy. It was so much great energy. You take the 4 people on the phone today, multiply that times about 50, and that's what the energy felt like. Amazing people, from jiu-jitsu artists to technologists and singers and musicians. And actually ran across 2 people that I've known for 10 years. The other Dre, well, I've known him for a few years, and Marcia Harden, I didn't know they worked there. Jody, who I think got laid off or fired, he talking bad about the industries because, he ain't there. And so that's the guest that we have on today. So I want you all to take me through, after introducing yourself, and telling the world how you became blind, through your journey at the Industries, the stuff that you guys do there, the stuff that you all sell, the benefits in working there, the things that you've seen, the people that you've come across. I'm going to let you kind of do the talking. Now, one thing I do know about them doing the talking, if Anastasia forgets something, Alyssa going to jump in. If Alyssa forgets something, Brooke going to jump in. And we already know Dre like Puffy, he going to jump in. So y'all go ahead and just tell you all stories. Start with Anastasia, she the leader. She had a fantastic day today, even though my account negative, but go ahead.
Oh.
Anastasia.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, that was my
Yep.
Sorry. Well, again, I'm Anastasia. As Vashaun has just called me out, I wasn't supposed to say my name, but I like my name. So I work at the Industries for the Blind, in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We are the largest employer of people who are blind or visually impaired. We're very proud of that in the little city of Winston-Salem. We have 3 locations: Asheville, North Carolina, Little Rock, Arkansas, and we employ over about 1,000 individuals, in which 500 plus are blind or low vision. We're a very diverse manufacturing operation. We make everything from pens and markers, which we package for base supply stores, which we have about 33 of those or so in government installations, military bases, and they're like mini Office Depots. We also make outfits for the different branches of the military, and I'll let Elisa, Dre, and Brooke kind of speak to that because they can get into detail as to what those are. We build mattresses for different branches of the military, the general public. We make eyeglasses for our veterans and the general public as well. And then we have a programs component where we have adult and youth programs. Our adult program is kind of self-driven. Our adults, we kind of take a poll, and I tease them and say, as long as it's PG, we'll try it. And they've stayed in the PG circle, so I'm glad about that. We do everything from belly dancing, water aerobics, pottery, yoga. We have support groups and whoever to talk to, and individuals that are going through the same thing you're going through. We have a social committee, and they, oh my goodness, they experience everything from camping, concerts, dinner and a movie, you name it, they try it. And then our youth, Tracy's Little Red Schoolhouse, is an independent living center for children who are blind or visually impaired, K through 12. And we have an after-school program where it's fun learning because, they learn all day at school, that book stuff. So we try to make learning fun. And so they have, like, Move It. We don't want couch potatoes, assistive technology, cooking, where they make all kinds of cool little treats. They did owl s'mores the other day, and they were yummy and fun and messy. We have a playground for the kids to explore and Fix It, where they learn how to use simple tools. So we just kind of encompass a lot of things for the kids to experience. And then we have day camp, and then we have 2 residential camps. And one of our residential camps is called Camp H2O, and that's at Lake Norman, Camp Dogwood. And it's everything, of course, the name says it all, H2O, everything water-based, kayaking, canoeing. We do the tubing, fishing, boating, swimming, whitewater rafting at the Whitewater Rafting Center there in Charlotte. And then we have Adventure Camp, which is Camp Nantahala, Western Carolina, the Asheville area. And they really rough it there, rock climbing, rope courses, hiking. They stay in little bunks and stuff where they have outdoor bathrooms. However, this year they moved to a different facility that had indoor, so they kind of reeled it in with the roughing it. And so we do a lot. Our mission is to help people who are blind and visually impaired succeed in every area of their lives. So we have that employment component, that training, the service, the social, and on a day-to-day basis, we try to make that happen. So I started with IFB about 14 years ago, and I was a blind mom who needed a job. And I had 3 little girls to feed, and a paycheck was my interest in walking through that door. But after I got there, I started getting involved with some of the extracurricular things that I just mentioned, and just kind of moving around. And I finally said, well, I'm going to embrace this, see what I can do with it. And now I'm the manager of programs there. I started out in the T-shirt department, and it was family there. I felt when I first went to start working at IFB Solutions, I felt out of place in a place I should have felt most in place, because I had really been around other people who are blind or visually impaired. I was this person angry about losing my sight. I wanted to fake it till I make it, and that wasn't working because blindness was like, girl, bye. And so, but, I had these kids, and I was always telling them to reach for the stars, follow your dreams, and Mama needed to let her actions speak louder than her words. And so I started to do something about that. The doctors do not know what caused my blindness. There's no one in my family that really even wears eyeglasses. It's nothing hereditary. So sometimes I can be a little smart butt and make up cool stories. I'm a boxer, got my lights knocked out, all kinds of cool stuff because I do not have a specific eye disease or a story to tell as to how I lost my vision. I just couldn't see the board at school. I was about 13 years old and 20/20 vision up until. And my mom thought, this girl needs a pair of eyeglasses, move her to the front of the classroom, and all is well. But it was a lot more going on behind the eye than anyone anticipated. My retina's detached, and it was literally lights out then. So I had about a 7-year period to adjust, and I'm glad it was gradual. So gradual, I was able to kind of transition with the vision loss. And a funny story about the vision loss, and then I'll let someone else talk because I'll go on and on and on. I like to run my mouth. Remember when I was my early 30s, I'm going to tell my age now, but I was sitting on the edge of the bed.
Can't be too long ago. You say you still remember.
Right, but I was sitting on the edge of my bed, and I started crying, and I was just crying really bad. And my husband walks in the room, and he says, "What's wrong? Why are you crying?" And I said, "I'm blind." And he was thinking, "Yeah, you've been that way for quite a while now," to himself. But it was like my kids were growing up. They didn't really need me anymore. It was like everything I hid behind, was moving out of the way, and I had to see it, blindness for what it was. And that's when I turned that corner and said, okay, I'm going to get involved, embrace blindness, and see what I can do with it.
So when you invite people out for a tour, because I can tell this ain't your first invitation you've done, what are you hoping that the person coming to visit gets from your invitation?
One, I hope they see that there's opportunity for people with disabilities. I hope they walk away with like, wow, I didn't realize that people who are blind or visually impaired could, for lack of a better word, do so much. And I want them just to see, how we can contribute to society. Because a lot of people think we're incapable. They see the word blind or hear the word blind, and they think, oh, poor baby. But there they get to see us in action. No, it's not poor baby. It's, wow, look what they can do, how they are contributing. They are mothers. They are fathers. They are homeowners. They are, tech, like you mentioned when you first started. We have, martial artists and, tech people and singers, and just all facets of what people who are sighted do, and we just want them to walk away understanding that.
And the thing that struck me is of course I knew we do these things, and there's plenty of examples of success stories. It was just all of that talent just kind of bundled up into one room. It just felt like a nuclear bomb of talent just brewing. I'm like, yeah, this is amazing.
Yes, and we feed off of each other, and we encourage each other, and, we try to make it happen on a day-to-day basis.
I got you. So speaking of feeding off of each other, we're going to make sure y'all get off by 8 o'clock so y'all can eat. I know what it is. So, Brooke, let's have you bring the energy.
Yeah.
So same questions, and if you say you don't know what the questions are, then you're just going to be out there on your own, player. So what's up? Talk to us.
Yeah.
Alrighty. My name is Brooke, of course, but I work in the T-shirt department at IFB, and I put the collars on the shirts. and I've been at IFB going on 2 years. I started as a community coming in for the community on the community
Hold on one
program
sec.
side.
Hold on one sec.
I've,
You say you
mhm.
work on the T-shirts, and you say you put the collars on the shirt.
Yes, I put the collars on the t-shirt. I sew the collars on the t-shirt.
A T-shirt
Yes.
has a collar.
Yeah.
You mean like the little
Yes.
ring
Those
around
collars
the
go up.
neck? I guess that would be
Yes.
a collar.
Yes.
Okay, I got. I'm
I
used to a
I
collar
sew that.
being
Yes, I
okay.
sew that part of the shirt.
Gotcha. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
really thinking of a collar like,
Yes.
you know what I mean, like a polo
You're
shirt.
thinking about a collar.
Yeah.
No,
But
not a
then I
polo
thought about
shirt.
my
A
little
t-shirt
puppy, and he has a
collar.
collar and it's round, and that makes sense. Okay, you see, hey, look, I ain't as smart as I,
Oh
you know
Lord.
what I mean? All right, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but hey,
Oh, I forgot where I stopped. Oh, okay.
you put the
I
collars on the
came
shirt.
in participating. Yeah, I put the collars on the shirt. But anyway, I participate. I came to IFB 2 years ago.
Mm.
Um, 2017. I was uh kind of down because I was lost my vision when I turned 31. Um, due to retina detachments in both of my eyes, and I did not have, any knowledge of or any resources at the time. But it took my godmother to go to IFB right before she died. She walked into the low vision center, went and saw the doctor there, and also got glasses from the optical department. And she said, "Wow, look at all these blind people walking around. This is where my baby needs to be." So she called me. She got Chris and Anastasia's number, and I called. And she called me every day asking me, "Did I call the number?" And I said, "Yes." I left a message on Chris's phone, and I finally got there. In the first group I met was Elisa and Faith, Chris and Anastasia. They were the first faces that I met there, and we've been friends ever since.
Mm.
Um, they really helped me with the transition, me being more comfortable because I was just down, really, 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 really down because I was like, oh God, I'm so used to doing for myself, and I was just lost because I had no resources or anything. I didn't know who to turn to because Voc Rehab kept sending me here, sending me there, and it was an unsuccessful story. So when I got to ISB, they helped me with my transition from becoming sighted to becoming visually influenced, with me transitioning into being visually impaired. I joined the choir, and I was also involved with Toastmasters and the diabetic support group, and I love it. I love ISB. It has its ups and its downs, but it's all about what you can bring to the table and helping other people that are there that are going through what you go through daily. Um, I know a lot of people that are like me that have become visually impaired from being sighted at one time. We all have the same stories. Driving, we were driving, and all of a sudden, boom, the retinas detached, and we saw bright light. And I can point out a lot of people at my job that have gone through that. And I've got part of my vision back in my left eye, but I'm totally blind in my right eye. But I've adjusted to it, and I'm happy. I'm just happy. I am. I
Yeah,
am.
that makes sense. I got two detached retinas too, so I know how that feels. And the lights.
Mhm.
Uh, I remember
Mhm.
going to a bowling alley after getting hit in the eye with one of them plastic
Mhm.
red baseball bats, and I didn't realize my eye was detached
Mhm.
then, but I knew I couldn't hardly see, and the little light, the long lights going at the
Mhm.
ceiling was like crinkled up, like I was on acid or something. Not that I know what being on acid looked like, but how they show it in the
Mhm.
movies, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel you.
I thought I was seeing the rapture.
Right, right, right,
I did.
right, right. So New
I pulled. I said,
Jersey.
"Lord Jesus, help me! Just let me pull over on the." Yes, let me pull over because I was in traffic and on a busy highway when it happened, and it just scared me to life. But a calmness came over me, and I
Okay.
called my doctor, and I had 2 surgeries, but I told him I didn't want any more surgeries.
Mm.
So
You said it scared you to life?
mhm.
So you was
It
just
scared me.
to life.
It scared me to death. It did.
But you did say to
It did.
life, right?
Not my life. It scared me.
You
I
did say
didn't
life
mean
though, right?
to, but I was. I
No, hold
guess I
on.
did. I don't know.
Okay,
I'm
well,
just
I just
thinking
wanted,
about my
because you
story
kept
now.
saying transition like you would die, but then you want to say it scared you to life. I'm like, well, what side you on there? You transitioning? I ain't know. I ain't know.
Oh
See,
Lord,
see,
Jesus.
Brooke, you should have kept that. It scared me
Yes.
to life. You could have went deep with that, because
Right,
you
right, right,
transitioned
right,
to a
right.
different
That's
path.
why
Yeah, I
I'm trying to
It
take
could.
was
it.
I
scary. You
really
could have went deep
could
with
have,
that.
but Vashaun.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You transitioning too much for me. Boy. Yeah. Transition 6 times. Well, you a turn. Ooh, I ain't gonna say that. All right, so Elisa, A-list.
Yes.
New Jersey, House, Newark, Brooklyn, oh, no, wrong state. Not too.
Kinda.
Oh, yeah. So what's up? Tell us about you. How'd you do it? What happened? How'd you get there? Why you with these people? How did it all happen for you?
Oh wow. Okay, so uh,
Oh,
for the
wow. You
audience, my
haven't
name
been
is
thinking?
Elisa, and I don't have any eye disease or anything like that. I actually lost my vision on my 21st birthday. Um, I have been experiencing some very violent headaches to the point where light left me in pain and I couldn't walk. And I went to about 4 different hospitals in New Jersey, and nobody could find anything that was wrong with me. And uh, the last thing I remember was sitting on the couch with my little sister, who was 3 at the time, and we were watching Arthur. And then, I lost 2 whole months. So I had a blood a blood based stroke, and I have a rare blood disorder. It's called antiphospholipid antibody syndrome, and what that just means is, my blood does not circulate on the inside like everybody else's. My blood actually clots, so I have to take blood thinners on a daily basis to facilitate that. And what happened was the blood clot, the blood started clotting in the main arteries of the brain. You have one that goes straight down and then you have one that goes across.
Mm-hmm.
So, those main arteries were clogged, and blood is very thick. And what it did was it pushed the spinal fluid. It created a whole lot of pressure on the nerves in my eyes.
Mm.
And, they had to sedate me because they could not figure out what was wrong with me. They'd never seen a case of it before. And, my mom tells me that my organs were literally failing, and they were preparing for me to pass and all of that. And it just so happens that,
They were preparing for you to transition?
yes.
Okay.
And it just so happens that, there was a hematology specialist who came into the hospital. He wasn't even supposed to be there, but he was teaching a class for another colleague. And they asked him to consult on my case. And he looked at all my labs and looked at all the information they had taken. And he said, okay, I know what's wrong with her. Test her for this. And, it turned out that I had the phospholipid antibody syndrome. In 2003, I was the youngest person in the country that had it. Now, it's popping up a lot in people, young and old. So there are certain things that I cannot eat because vitamin K enhances the ability of the blood to clot. I do cheat a lot because I love greens and broccoli, but
yes, you do.
but my transition was very, very difficult because as a child, when I could see, I would see blind people on the street and stuff like that, and they would have their little cans collecting money or walking, and I just always thought, well, dang, I feel sorry for that person, or I hope that doesn't ever become me. And my mom, we didn't have any resources. I mean, we had Commission for the Blind, but it's, when you're dealing with state agencies, you have to know the ins and outs before you actually deal with them so you can get the help that you need. And, transition was very difficult for me. And looking for work, in a state like New Jersey, they don't really employ blind people. There are like 2 industries, and there in total, they employ probably about 100 people. So you literally got to wait till somebody die to put in an application. I hate to say it like that, but that's the way it is. And it just so happens I went to an independent living center, and what was he? The job coordinator. I had called him. Now, mind you, I hadn't been to the independent living center in 10 years. I just called him out the blue. I said, listen, I need a job. Do you have anything you could refer me to? And he says, well, are you up for relocating? I said, I don't care at this point. And he put me in touch with ISB Solutions, and I went down for an assessment, my husband and I, and we were moved in less than 5 weeks.
Wow.
We did a lot of research, and, we knew what was in the area. We knew what side of the town we wanted to live on and all of that stuff. But when I got to ISB, I started working, sewing and everything. And mind you, I hadn't done sewing since high school, home economics.
Right.
But it, was something that I fell into, and I just, learned the routine. And I think about 6 months after, I was so grateful for the opportunity because, in the sighted workforce society, you can have a certain level of credentials, but if you go into an interview, all they're going to see is that cane. And a lot of times when you go through interviews, that's what they judged you based upon. Not what you know or not your experience, but your cane. Well, is this person going to be a liability or that? I've been rejected from apartments because, property managers feel like, hey, I don't know if we can accommodate that, or I don't know if that's going to be an insurance risk. So I just, I've always done research or asked questions just to understand and know what I'm entitled to. And 6 months after starting at ISB, I started to feel a little stagnant, but I was grateful for the opportunity and I wanted to give back. So with the encouragement of Anastasia and Chris Flint, I started a newsletter for the plant. I quickly noticed that there was a big lack of communication between the supervisors and the employees in the department. HR would announce certain things or post certain things, and sometimes we wouldn't know anything about it. So I created a newsletter along with my other colleague, and, we put inspirational stuff in it. We have a who's who where people can read and learn who this person is that works in this department, and, kind of like an icebreaker, because I'll tell you, for 8 months, I didn't know who David Hampton was. But, through this process of me going around and interviewing different people in different positions, I began to become familiarized with that. David Hampton.
Oh, so I'm
Dead
43.
Hampton.
I don't know who Danny Hampton is either. Who is Danny Hampton?
He's actually he's actually the director of our human service department, human resources. I'm sorry.
Oh.
So I, and after doing that, I just always made it my business to pass on what I learned. I have a lot of people that I help relocate down here for work. Making sure that they have a counselor so they can get things that they need for their apartment. Getting them set up with paratransit, even them to help them find apartments. It's just I love to help people. Doesn't matter in what capacity. That's just I'm passionate about helping people and giving back and just making sure that the next blind or visually impaired individual has a full understanding of what their rights are, what they're entitled to, just all the stuff that encompasses blind life. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell
That
for
wasn't no
me.
nutshell, girl. That was a coconut.
Be quiet. Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
So, Brooke was in a nutshell.
I'm sorry.
So
I currently work in the Mali department. I've done quite a few jobs at ISB. I used to run the front desk whenever they needed somebody to cover. I worked in optical customer service where it was my job to actually call clients that have gotten their eyeglasses from us and just to make sure that their vision went well to the optician, if the optician helped them properly, things of that nature. What else did I do? I've worked in about 3 or 4 different departments.
Need to be fired, and as much as you do, you need to take her job because she ain't named none of that. She said she was a mother of 3 kids, and that was it. She the supervisor, and boy, all that your coconut run over, boo. I got you.
But,
So
I love working for ISB. I know there's a lot of negative stuff that's been said about the company, but overall, there are opportunities there, and it's your choice and your ability to decide whether you want to take advantage of the opportunities. If you don't, you don't. But I encourage people to take advantage of the opportunities that they offer. So, yes.
Slap! Sounds like a plan. Got it. That's what's up. Now, DeAndre.
What's up, man?
Wilkerson
What's up,
Jenkins
man?
Oh, you
the
can
third.
remember how to say his name right, but you can't say mine right. That's cold-blooded.
Nah, I'm saying.
He's hungry.
I wrote it down. No matter how I put your name, it's still the same. It's Lisa is all, you know what I mean? But you, Deion Sanders, Dre, Deion, Dr. Dre, I got it. So, brother, you weren't even supposed to be on today, so I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. We're going to keep it short and to the point. All right?
For sure.
All right, don't get mad, bro, because, you know what I mean?
No, I ain't mad at you. I just told you just gonna put me out
Let me
like that.
tell you how I
Word.
met this dude. Ain't even know I
That's
met
some
him, but
hugger
he
pain.
went up at the table. He gonna squeeze my hand all hard. Gonna let me know he the alpha male in the room. Gonna squeeze my hand. Boy, if I won't speak it out, I had to jump up and kick him in his knee, boy. I'm telling you, that thing hurt. Guitar playing, hand squeezing. Nope. All right. But DeAndre, so listen, man, how did you become blind? Where you from? Tell us about yourself briefly.
Well, I guess keep it short and simple. I was born blind.
Okay.
My condition is called rod cone dystrophy. Where that comes from is it's the rod cones in your eyes that allow you to see extremely far away, like basically like mostly to have your 20/20 vision. That's where that comes from. Mine didn't develop. I went to several doctors. My parents went to several doctors, and they couldn't find anything. The doctor said they didn't know what I should, they didn't know what they should do. They said I was supposed to be blind at 7. Come to find out, when the doctors did their research, I have the same eye condition as Ray Charles. So, yeah. So And I was supposed to be actually blind at the same age as Ray Charles because that's when he lost his vision. But you said to keep it short and simple, so I basically fast forwarding like Anastasia said, IFB has a schoolhouse. I was one of the first candidates at the schoolhouse in 2007. Fast forwarding up to now, I joined IFB in 2015. I've been there. I'll be 5 years this April. I work in the mattress department. Don't ask me what I do in the mattress department because I do everything. From busting springs to building. I'm one of the fastest builders that they have there on the line. To working the table, to like when I was giving you the tour of my department, man, I work in packaging and receiving in the mattress department. I do everything. So, honestly, IFB, man, being blind and visually impaired, you know, I never went to no visually impaired school. My parents always taught me that, you know what I'm saying, to live life as a sighted person, you know what I'm saying? So I was out there, the blind guy riding bikes and skateboarding, roller skating and doing all types of crazy stuff, man, you know, from running and jumping on moving buses, man. I mean, all types of crazy stuff. I mean, my family's from Jamaica, man. So a lot of times I spend my summers down there in Jamaica, out there in the woods, climbing trees and all that. So,
got you. Now, how did you? I know you're a musician. How did you take to the guitar? How did you come about becoming a guitarist?
To be honest with you, man, playing the guitar, music came to me because my whole family plays music. From my older cousins, I remember when I was younger, I used to sit and watch. I'm coming from church, man, so I used to watch my older cousins and my uncle and all the rest of them be up there playing the music and stuff like that. I used to sit there and watch them for hours. And I started playing the drums at 5 years old. Was the youngest drum player in my church at 5 years old. Then about age 7, I taught myself how to play the keyboard. About 8, I picked up the bass and taught myself how to play bass. Then at about 9, I started playing the lead guitar. My uncle taught me 3 chords, and I just took off with it. You know what I'm saying? And from 9 years old, I've been playing the lead guitar more so than anything. And the lead guitar seems to be the instrument that I was mainly really, really good at, and I can express myself. You know what I'm saying? More so with. Fast forward when I got into high school, man. Like I said, I went to an all-sided high school. I was about the only visually impaired guy. They said they had one other visually impaired guy in there. But he had graduated years back.
Well, was that one other black guy, or did you mean to say blind?
I meant to say blind. He's black too.
Oh, okay. I mean, if he was the only other black guy there, just say it, look. You know what I mean? This ain't segregation no more. You and him. It's the only other way.
You know me.
Yeah. But man, it really transitioned, man. And I noticed it myself because I used to be in a jazz band, man. I used to play in school, and I remember my band teacher used to have me doing a lot of solos and stuff like that, and drilled me on reading music because, man, being visually impaired, you try to my other sister said, you try to fake it. You know what I'm saying? Try to fake like you ain't blind and fake, you know what I'm saying? So I used to be in there acting like I see the sight music and everything like that, and in between, couldn't see a daggone thing. But it's all right, though. But it's all right, though, because at the end of the day, man, I still made it. I remember one time I was doing a sight reading test. I had heard somebody played it before. I went out and I just picked it up and I played it easily. You know, and my friend came over there and it was like, oh my God, man, you just played that whole thing without no music. I said, well, it is what it is. Don't tell nobody.
Drumline.
But at the
Drumline.
Fast forwarding to IFB, man. IFB has a band that has been active for at least good 7-8 years. The band, probably longer than that. When I came in, man, I didn't find the band. The band didn't look for me. I looked for the band because I always had this hunger and this drive to play music, man. When I get on stage, man, it's just high for me that I can't explain. Most people would be intimidated by thousands and thousands of people staring at them and screaming their name and stuff like that, man. I love it. You know what I'm saying?
I experience that every day now, bro. I love it too. I'm with you now. Thousands and thousands. Nah, I love it too.
Look, man. Look.
We don't
Look, man, but
air conditioning up here. Everybody else started off saying, "Hey, ain't got no air conditioning." I just was walking one day and they say, you know, I'm blind.
I'm telling you. But fast forward, and man, when I got to IFB, man, I always used to ask the question, man, why? You know, you go through that period where you be like the others said in their statements. You go through that period where you're like, man, why me? Why did it become me that I had to be blind? Because, you know, I went through that process growing up, and I was like, okay, when I went to IFB, it taught me how to be more assertive about my condition. It taught me how to be more understanding and to accept that. Before then, you couldn't get me to sit there and read a menu at a restaurant without you know what I'm saying, trying to fake like I could read a restaurant. You know, like I could read the menu at a restaurant. Now, when I go out to a restaurant, you probably see me pull out my iPhone and be like, "Oh, what's this on the menu?"
I know that.
Man, I remember. Man, I remember when I went to a family gathering. Man, we was at a family. It was a sister at the church. It was her birthday, and everybody was sitting there reading their menus. Man, look here. I pulled out a menu. I pulled out my phone, and my daddy come to me talking about something. Yeah, you sure you fine? You sure you all right? You sure? Look, I got it. I even let him use my iPhone so he could look at the menu.
Right.
So I said, so this is all good. I said, look, man, ain't no reason to be ashamed. Look, basically, ain't no reason to be ashamed of it,
right.
man. It's something you got to live with for the rest of your life, so might as well go ahead and embrace it. And my parents have been telling me that for years, but it's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's up to you. It really is in your mind and in your head about really owning up to your disability, whether you be paralyzed or visually impaired or any type of disability. It's all about how you take it and all about how you go with it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, and my dad used to tell me, man, everybody in the world has a problem. Everybody in the world. You see people walking around acting like they don't got a problem. They got something going on. Whether they be bipolar or whether they got an eating disorder or something. They got something going on with them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there was a girl in my math class, man. We became real good friends back in high school. There was a girl in my math class. She had hearing aids on, but you could never really tell that she had hearing aids on because she kept her hair always out. But when she put her hair in a bun, I remember one day the class didn't have no air conditioning. She put her hair in a bun. I said, I know my eyes ain't good, but I saw them. I said, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. Did you wear hearing aids? She's like, yeah, I can't hear you. I said, all this time I would never have known that unless you'd have put your hair in. I said, I'm sitting there feeling sorry for her. Forget my condition. I'm sitting there feeling sorry for her. I'm sitting, man. I'm the one with the visually impairment. Got to be sitting up, man. Look, I used to walking around high school, man, with a big old. They call it a CCTV for those that don't know, and it's a TV that is basically a big, almost look like a big computer, desktop computer that you be carrying around. I had to carry that for at least 2 good years until they gave me a little camera on a laptop that I could use, man. But like I said, you got to keep it short and simple. I can go on and on and on about it.
You did not.
I can go on and on. Like Anastasia said, man, I can go.
But she
on and
stopped.
on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah, DeAndre, you still going.
But
Anastasia said I can go on and on and on and on. And then she stopped. You can go on and on and on. You still go. And when I was 2, I remember when I was 2. Let me take you there. Now, everything y'all said was right, man. And I'm happy to be able to interview great people with so much energy and positive thoughts on this thing we call blindness and working for the industries. All the contributions that you guys give in helping people, because really, in all honesty, you can feel it. You can feel the love. You can feel the desire to just want to help your fellow brother. And so it felt good going there. It felt like home. It was like going to Africa, and being embraced by your people. And so I really thank each and every one of you all. Christy, I know we only got like 3 minutes left. Is there anybody on the line for calls? Is there anybody on the lines for calls? Anybody?
They talked so long, I think everybody left.
Oh, man.
Oh!
So it was on there.
Oh!
It's like,
Sorry.
it's like fish.
Wow, that's how y'all feel?
And so there was some people on, and then they gone?
Yeah, they're gone. There's nobody there now.
Oh, they just took my food and left.
Well, Vashaun, I can
Sorry.
plug the last few minutes.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
I said I can plug the last few minutes.
Okay, well, go ahead
You know how
and
you
plug.
do the advertising?
Go ahead. Do your thing. How can we find you on Twitter, Facebook, and all your social?
You need to call solutions.org. Follow the links for employment. And if you want to experience recreation and adventure, go to blindpowercompany.org. And we have a social that's coming up for the Winston-Salem Triad area listeners, November the 9th at the Doubletree. $45 a ticket. Contact Elisa Townsend or Anastasia Powell at 336-245-5698.
Yay. And I'm going to be there November 9th. Well, I'll be there the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, because the train ain't going to leave to Sunday night at 8 o'clock. And I'm not going to get in until 11. But I love y'all, so I'm going to come, and I'm going to bring my saxophone, and I've been practicing my songs. I'm going to get it in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. There you go.
Thank you for having us.
No, thank y'all. You know what I mean?
Thank
listen,
you.
so what you do?
Seriously,
You just
man.
coordinate, you be singing, what you be doing? I'm sorry, Elisa. I'm sorry, I probably.
Dog.
Oh,
Did
yes.
she just hang up? Okay. So what you be doing? You be singing? What you doing? Hosting? What you doing?
Ooh, I'm hosting.
She hosts.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm going to host, crack a few jokes, do a little bit of dancing.
And she might do a rap song.
Got you. And what was the menu again? Y'all talked about the menu. What was the menu?
The menu, we will have marinated chicken, beef, grilled vegetables, salad, potatoes, an assortment of dessert bars, lemonade, tea, water, and coffee. Most of the time you just get tea or water.
Add the coffee to it. How many people you expecting to come?
Mm-hmm.
How many people? We're expecting to max it out at 75, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. Cool.
But we're excited about it. We're going to have a lot of fun. We used to have a contest. It was formerly known as Blind Idol. So some of the semifinalists and winners from that contest are going to perform live. We're going to have a DJ that's going to dance the night away with us from 8 to 10, a little social hour. We're going to have a lot of fun. Door prizes, some really cool sunglasses, Ray-Bans, Oakleys for y'all fashionable folks.
Yes, honey.
Yep. So $45 is not that bad to come out with your homeboy, homegirl, boo, whatever.
Mm-hmm. When does it start?
I'm sorry.
What time does it start?
What'd you say?
What time does it start?
is 6 to 10. We will have social hour from 6 to 6:30. We'll start serving meals promptly at 6:30. From 7 to 8, we'll have the live entertainment. And from 8 to 10, bar opens, DJ takes over, and we party the night away.
Sound like a plan. So is Jasmine the DJ?
Excuse me?
Jasmine?
Andre.
Andre Woods.
Oh, okay.
Your
Gotcha.
boy. I think you know Dre.
Yeah.
And this is a
Okay.
blind power affair, so our DJ is blind, our musicians are, well, blind, low vision, some are sighted, our singers, our host. We're just providing a fun night for people to be yourselves.
Man, that's going to be amazing. Can't wait to get there. All right, you guys, so we are going to take it out with our normal outro. Thank you, Elisa, Townsend, Brooke, I don't know your last name, DeAndre,
Brown.
Anastasia. Y'all can hang up or like leave. You know, I don't know what to tell you. But here go the outro.
Just kick it to the curb, why don't you?
Have a good night, everybody.
Hi, guys.
Right.
Let me tell you something you already
Hey.
know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.